Hi, this is Brother Prince, and this is Word Under 10. This is a series where I share inspiration from the Word of God in under 10 minutes. And today I'm going to share something that I've noticed in the church that I believe needs to be addressed. But as always, I'll start with a story. So, this is the story about the lady who had a naming ceremony for her newborn. For those of you that don't know what a naming ceremony is, think of it as a baby shower, but after the baby is born. And that is typically when you announce the name of the baby. So she was very big in the community, so everybody knew her. Everybody came to this naming ceremony and everybody brought a lot of gifts. So they did the whole ceremony. She showed the baby around, told them what the name of the baby was, and then the baby fell asleep, so she put the baby to sleep. So when all the celebrations were done, she went into the room with some of her friends and they brought all the gifts upstairs to go through them. And a lot of them were clothes. A lot of them were clothes, which is very typical for a newborn. And they started opening them. She would open one, look at it, see how cute it is, and they would laugh, and then she would throw it on the bed. And she would open the next one. So she kept opening the gifts, and after she's done looking at it, she would throw it on the bed. She kept doing that until they went through all the gifts. And then she thanked her friends, and then she saw them out. When everybody left, she realized that she hadn't seen her baby in a while. So she said, well, let me go check on my baby. Initially, she thought that she had put the baby in her crib. So she went into the crib and the baby was not there. And then she started thinking that, well, did somebody take my baby? Started calling her friends to see if somebody took a baby or something like that. And, nobody has seen the baby either. And then she kept thinking back. And then she realized that she put the baby on the bed when she fell asleep. It turns out that she had thrown all those clothes on that baby while she was sleeping and had unfortunately suffocated this baby in her sleep. So now the story becomes about a baby who was suffocated at her own naming ceremony by the gifts that was brought to her. That is such an interesting irony that the baby who is the center of attention end up being suffocated to death by the things that was brought to her. It's amazing that sometimes I hear these stories and it's intriguing and I move on. And several years later when I think of something or I learn something, God brings these stories back and it links and it gives me a perfect picture of what I want to talk about. Because one of the things that bothers me now is that when you go to churches, that the church can focus on everything else but Christ. That the church can become about everything else but the main reason and center of attention. That we all came here to celebrate, to worship, to praise Christ. But we can make the service about everything else other than the main reason that we are there. And so you go to churches today and it becomes about who's leading praise and worship, who is leading the song ministration today, what is the choir wearing, how are we setting the stage, who is dating who, what is the pastor driving, and it becomes about everything else except the main person that we are there to celebrate, to worship, to praise, which is Christ. And by so doing, a lot of us have suffocated the life of Christ out of the church. We've made the church about everything else and left our focus on Christ. So the life of Christ, which is supposed to give life to the church, has been suffocated. And so in so many churches today, Christ is not present. We spend hours in our closet picking up what to wear. Because I wore this last week, I have to wait about 6 more weeks. Other than that, everybody will think that I'm poor. And you spend an hour just picking something. It's not about you. It's not about you. We are there to celebrate Christ. The more we keep taking our eyes off from the thing that God gave us, we begin to gradually suffocate the life of Christ. So I tell you, so many churches are just filled with beautiful edifices and nice programs and beautiful lineup, but the life of Christ is no longer, because we have made it about everything else other than the main reason that we gather. And I don't know if this is a warning. When the message came into my spirit, it didn't feel like a warning, but it's more like a caution. Because a lot of us are in churches that we go and we don't feel Christ. We go and there's too many gimmicks. We go and it's about everything else, other than the main reason why we were saved. which is Christ. And it's up to you now to make sure that you are making certain conscious choices. There are certain places, if you don't feel like you need to be there, I'm not saying quit the church and go and stay home, but make sure, if you're a leader, that you are bringing Christ and he's becoming the center of everything that you plan and do in the church. If you go to a church and you're not a leader and you don't have a say so in what the church do, find a church that is Christ centered. And if you're in a place that is not Christ centered, where the service is not about Christ, his name is in the songs, his name is in the sermons, but the things that we do in that church is not Christ centered. And if you know that, find you a church that focuses on Christ, because other than that, there is no life. There are some churches where the presence of Christ is not there, and it's because there is a history of making it about everything else except the main reason and center of attraction. I know this is a short one, but I don't mean to talk for long. But find you a Christ-centered, Bible-believing church. Other than that, you're wasting your time. Believe me.